What is going on, Crimson Tide fans? Alabama had their media day yesterday, and Director of Sports Performance David Ballou had a lot of things to say to Alabama's media. And I don't know about you guys, but it absolutely fired me up. He talked about challenging the players during the offseason workouts. He talked about these guys taking accountability for the lackluster season they had last year and what they can do going into year two of this Kalen DeBoer coaching staff. And hopefully Alabama can have a better season this year. Before we get into all those quotes from David Ballou and some of the other players as well, like I said the other day, we started a new college football channel here at Chat Sports, the Tennessee Football Talk with Joey Peterson. And look, guys, they're only like 5 videos into their entire history of their channel, and they're beating us right now in likes in the month of August. And I messaged Joey Peterson and asked him how many likes they have so far this month. And he just started talking a lot of shit about Alabama fans. So get down there. Make sure you guys like today's video, and let's kick the hell out of Tennessee football talk. Get down there and like today's video. All right, so like I said, Alabama's Director of Sports Performance, David Ballou, talked a lot about the offseason workouts. And, you know, he said these were really one of the hardest workouts that the team has experienced in his time as Alabama's sports performance director here. This is what David Ballou said, just kind of about the off-season program and, you know, these guys taking accountability and really living up to the standard here at Alabama. He said, we challenged them straight up. We challenged them. We confronted them. We challenged them. And I started on January 13th at the first team meeting. They got challenged immediately and emphatically challenged. I wonder if he challenged these players to be better this year. He also continued on saying, to be honest, we were pissed off. We were pissed off. The building was pissed off. And when I say they got challenged, the whole building got challenged in a lot of ways. And, you know, when you're talking about your, strength director and everything like that, this is, really the type of vibe that you want to hear, that you had a lackluster season last year, and then this year, they really, stuck it to him during the offseason workouts. But one of the things that one of the quotes from David Ballou that really did stick out to me was he went into that meeting and he said, look, guys, if you don't want to be here, then just leave. And I think this is a sentiment that a lot of Alabama fans do feel as well. You know, you hear it with recruiting all the time when guys don't choose Alabama. Well, they were afraid of competition. They didn't want to come here anyways. Look, there were only a handful of guys that go off to the transfer portal and actually leave the team that, we're like, good luck to him. Guys like Jalen Hurts, he did what he did at Alabama. His time kind of ran out, and we're like, good luck to him going to Oklahoma, and everything was fine. But then there's some players like Jaheim Otis, Keanu Coate, that just straight up quit on the team last season. And myself, and I know many of you guys as well, were just kind of like, F those guys. We don't want players like that on this team, and I'm glad some of those cancers have left the team, in the offseason as well. And, it's kind of the same thing. If you don't want to be here, then just leave. As fans, we want players that love the University of Alabama, that want to be great. We want players that are proud of the fact that they play for the best team in college football, the best college football program in the country here. So I love that, that was one of the biggest statements there from David Ballou. If you don't want to be here at Alabama, if you don't want to go through the grind, if you don't want to do the things, that the beasts do, according to Nick Saban, then, we don't want you here, because only beasts are here at the University of Alabama. So I want to hear from you guys down at the pinned comment of today's video. How fired up are you about Alabama football being back this month? We're only a couple of weeks away. Let me know what you guys think down at the pinned comment of today's video. I expect a lot of 10s to be down there. Get down there and let me know what you guys think. All right, David Ballou also continued on talking about the standard and just talking about the offseason program a little bit more. He said, we always talk about the standard around here. Well, you got to be held accountable to the standard, and you got to be okay with being held accountable to the standard. And you got to be coachable. You got to be able to take it, and you got to be able to walk in those shoes and deal with tough stuff and deal with tough conversations and step back in the mirror and have a little bit of self-reflection. Guys took those conversations and didn't take them personally. They didn't become combative with it. that they actually took it. They took it to heart and they made those changes. So I said before, action is what's actually going to make everybody better. It's not just those words. He continues on saying, so that's probably where I was most happy with, because, we told the guys leadership builds culture, and then culture drives behavior, and ultimately behavior produces results. If you want to have elite results, you better have elite leadership, and that better be every single day. You love that right there. That quote there from David Ballou is what I think about when I think about the standard. It's having the right leadership. It's having the right culture. It's having the right behavior, because having the right behavior produces the results. And at the end of the day, to me, that is what the standard means at the University of Alabama. We'll continue on with some more, player quotes here in just a second. But first, I want to go ahead and plug this yet again. A lot of people are buying this, so if you want this Columbia quarter zip today, you got to get it fast. It is going to go out of stock very soon. Right now, it is on sale just by going to chatsports.com/BamaQTR zip. The letters QTR because it's a quarter zip there. It was $90 originally. Now it is on sale for only $45. I understand it's really hot right now, but when it's hot, that's actually the best time to get your cold weather gear, because once it actually gets cold, it's going to go back to up to $90. So before it gets cold, before they sell out, make sure you guys get this Columbia quarter zip. It's got the University of Alabama logo right there on it too. Just go to chatsports.com/BamaQTR zip. I'll put that link down in the second paragraph of today's the description down there. I'll also link it to the pinned comment as well. All right, I think this year there's more player-led accountability and acceptance to fix problems than, we've had in the past couple of seasons here at Alabama. You had guys the past couple of years like Tyler Booker, like Jalen Milroe, Malachi Moore, that talked about holding guys accountable, and maybe they tried to do that, but the same things just continuously happened over and over and over again. I look back to some of those old Nick Saban teams at Alabama, and you hear the stories about those player-led come-to-Jesus meetings. Maybe it was after a loss. Maybe it was even after a win when they went out there and they didn't think they played up to the standard as well as they could have. Maybe practice during the week was a little bit lackluster. Those guys would go and they would have fight night in the locker room. And, they were adamant about everybody living up to the standard, acting like champions, doing the things that the Beasts do, to quote Nick Saban yet again there. And, I'm not saying that you have to go and have WWE SmackDown, go beat somebody up to have them fall in line and be accountable. But if guys are just consistently making the same mistakes over and over and over again, you got to do something. And, hopefully this grueling offseason workout plan that David Ballou and the Alabama coaching staff put these guys through, hopefully that was something to really snap this team back into being player-led and having some accountability and actually accepting and fixing those problems instead of just going out there and sulking. Because at the end of the day, nobody feels sorry for you. All right, we will continue here in just a second, but make sure you guys are subscribed right here to the Alabama Football Report. We are only 169 subscribers away from hitting 26.5 thousand subscribers. We're going to have our watch parties for every single Alabama game throughout the season. Any news or rumors come out, we will have videos for you guys, so do not miss out. Stay up to date and join the community here at the Alabama Football Report and hit that sub button for me right now. All right, multiple players also talked about the offseason workouts and that it helped with team chemistry during the offseason. Last year, player-wise, I think, this is just me personally, kind of the vibes I got from last year. I think there might have been some elements, there's a new, head guy here with Kalen DeBoer. There's a new coaching staff, and, maybe some guys didn't necessarily want to speak up and be those vocal leaders and possibly cross the line that maybe, Nick Saban probably would have been okay with crossing that line, but maybe they didn't think because a guy like Kalen DeBoer, who sort of comes off as more of a chill dude might not be okay with that. And I think just going into this season, it's just another year of they, know Kalen DeBoer a little bit more now. They know this Alabama coaching staff a little bit more and how they operate. I think going into this year, you're going to see some more vocal leaders on this team. And LT Overton talked about it as well, just going through that grueling offseason workout. Yeah, he said, we had guys dropping out there like they were dying, but we didn't care. If you're standing with us, you are going to be with us. It doesn't matter if you're the highest or the lowest. We're right here with you, and we are going to wait until you are done. To me, it's just bringing the weakest links along with you. Ryan Williams also talked about the team chemistry that they built over the summertime here. He said, I'm going to be honest with you. This is probably like one of the all-time highs in team chemistry that I have had in my life, going back to, City League, going back to, high school as well. He said, when, as a receiver, one of my best friends is a defensive lineman, a guy like James Smith, we feed off of each other. That's like my brother. This is a statement to the squad. We have quarterbacks hanging out with long snappers and people that are usually never around each other. I think, you also look at guys like, your potential quarterback this year in Ty Simpson, taking the team hunting, taking the team fishing, having them over to his, his apartment or his house, whatever he stays in, making team dinners and things like that. Ty Simpson said he loves cooking for his teammates. I think that's just overall a very positive thing. I think this team specifically is as locked in as any season, really, even under Nick Saban, that I could really remember. Now, that doesn't mean they're going to go undefeated. That doesn't mean they're going to win a national championship. It is harder right now than ever to win a national championship. And I don't even think winning a national championship actually defines your success as a team. But, everything that these guys are saying, everything that these guys are doing, it absolutely fires me up. And I cannot wait until we get to see this team against Florida State back in action on August 30th. So if you guys are like me and you are buying the hype of this Alabama team, get down there. Let me know what you guys think. Are you buying the hype of this Crimson Tide team? Type Y for yes or N for no. I would love to see the comment section just filled with a bunch of Ys. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section of today's video.